All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. Back to playing Fragged Empire tonight. We're continuing our Infinite Spaces campaign, and right now, Chuck, as Dr. T, is going to tell me about the entertainment viewing habits of Dr. T and Kill, the show or the entertainment watching extravaganza or video game or something, whatever within the Fragged universe that Dr. T and Kill have bonded over. What would that be?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be virtual persona dating.
Okay.
Reality shows. Like,
oh my God.
Okay. Like Love is Blind and all of those. Like, just, it was one, like, we sat down to hate watch it one day and we watched all of it. We talk about it when we think no one else is in the room, who should end up with who, what mistakes were made.
I'm so happy right now.
This is Jeremy's not. This is so much fun.
No, it's fun. He will never admit it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those secrets we're not being so good at keeping a secret.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you still definitely hate watching it.
Yeah, it's every Thursday. Like, we gotta.
These people are all idiots.
Bed early. I got scans to do, and we both just disappear into
Kill. Your knees are hurting you again.
Yeah,
Kill,
right?
Yeah. Gotta check those new knees out.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
Can you believe what Deborah did? How could she disrespect a Nephilim like that?
I mean, he's just trying to take care of his family. I don't understand what her problem is.
But still. Anyway.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
That's a phenomenal answer. I don't think we're going to get a better one, but we're going to keep going anyway.
I don't think so.
You're welcome.
God dang. So Kill. Tell me about a piece of entertainment or a something you've caught Zatek doing, like that entertained himself. Don't get creepy. That just doesn't make sense to you. It's just confusing. Something that just doesn't seem to connect.
Okay, I know you said don't be creepy or gross, but
not too creepy.
Zatek is all about consuming, right?
Okay.
The equivalent of like pimple popping videos. Where it's something where he's fascinated by the idea of like something being, excreted. It's like, so this is what happens when a spider bites you, and like watching a thing like a poisonous spider bit somebody in the face, and you just watch that horrible abscess.
Oh God!
And you're like, for him, it might be a fascination, but that for Kill, it's just like candid. Like, this one time happened. I saw this sort of thing.
Oh God!
I like those hoof videos where they like cut into the hooves.
He's like when you see the hoof, drained. Exactly.
Okay.
It's probably for him the fact that it's not one consistent substance throughout the entire being.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Zatek, what is a piece of entertainment that you have seen, not counting Maya's own show? But that Maya consume or participate in that you, let's say, that you are curious to also participate in, but haven't yet done so.
I feel like
vary them a bit. Yeah.
It'd be like a rival vlogger that is somehow like just slightly more successful and always seems to like kind of steal some of her ideas. But I like knew about them first, and I have this weird like, I kind of like the videos, but now I can't anymore.
Oh, wow.
She just kind of hate watches that a little bit.
Okay. Do you know what species the rival is?
Definitely an emissary Nephilim.
Okay. That's a great answer. I like that. Okay. All right. Emissary Nephilim are Nephilim, same species as what Chuck is playing, but they look like bipedal kind of humanoid types, whereas Dr. T, as we know, is a tentacle monster. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Maya, what is a piece of entertainment you've tried to get Jita into, but she's just not doing it. She's just not there for it.
There are these really cool gun mod videos that has been trying to get her to watch. And like She thought Gina would like them if the gun mods were different colors. But
That's so funny.
but she just won't watch the gun mod videos of me, even though it is a rainbow of colors. Like each color is a different mod. You'd think that would be enough. But
yeah,
you just can't throw paint on anything and think that like, oh, look, pretty colors.
No, you can't.
And then finally, Gita, what is a piece of entertainment that you have caught Dr. T consuming that makes no sense to you whatsoever? That just maybe even makes you question, like, why is he on the ship still, kind of deal? Like something that has really kind of given you some weird vibes.
Oh, something.
I always let you go last because I try to get Melissa to go last because Melissa hates it when I put her on the spot. So.
But then that was the direction that we went, and I was like, well, now I'm not quite so sure.
Just something creepy that Dr. T does. That shouldn't be too difficult. It's pretty standard, pretty par for the course for Dr. T.
So what I was going to say is that what I have caught Dr. T watching is 20th century doctor TV shows. Like that's how he's figuring out how to be a doctor.
Yes.
So it's like ER and like all these other.
I got my medical degree from Dr. Noah
Where
Carter.
he got his McSteamy handle from.
Every now and then a catchphrase from the show shows up in a mission.
Chuck, didn't you give me one of your memories was like was House, right? That's so perfect. That track's so perfect.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay. I get so much stuff just from this. This is fun to do. I like doing this. Hope you too. Hope you do too. All right. Are we ready to go? I think we've got our non-traditional intro. Let's dive in. Last time around, you all we're still on this mystical planet of Hypnos within the Cerberus system. You got into a firefight with two different combatants. One turned out to be an Ursine remnant that had the same kind of hybridized like Nephilim genes that you've seen from some of the folks that attacked the Posh Chat when you were in transit. The other was Ajax, Maya's old flame, and apparently an extremely highly trained Legion soldier / assassin. The remnant was focused primarily on Ajax and kind of ignored you all and even helped Zatek and some of the others at some points, maybe intentionally, maybe accidentally, who knows. However, Ajax was very, very good at his gig. Very, very good at his job. So under interrogation later, between I think it was Kill and Dr. T, the remnant claimed that they were locked in an age-old battle of good versus evil that has been going on, eternally, right? Over and over, forever. Like they just kill each other, respawn, kill each other, respawn, kill each other, respawn, that sort of thing. And Hypnos was their battleground. During this crazy firefight, Ajax fled into the mist. Maya, you tried to send out a broadcast to reestablish contact with him. Zatek and Jita helped you kind of mimic and Kill as well, helped you kind of mimic Legion command language, and you did get a response from him eventually. He still didn't seem to have a memory of you, despite you sending him some like photos and some vids, especially of like a little like pseudo dog tag thing that you had made. But he did at the very least acknowledge your communication, acknowledge Kill's old like Legion code. But he said he's on mission to recover his squad, and he turned off like this cloaking mechanism. So now you all actually can track his movements. Other things that happened to Kill, Dr. T, you continued to question that remnant. Dr. T, you had this like moment where you traded memories with them in some ways. So you gave up a memory of you meeting Kill, like one of your earliest memories of meeting Kill, in exchange for the series of memories from the remnant about their mission. So there's like a Kaltoran, a Twyafar, a Palantor. They were all in like these special suits. They were heading off into the mist, and they left the remnant behind to kind of coordinate. And then the last thing you saw was Ajax and the Legion arriving, and then things kind of going to shit at that point. Another weird thing kind of happened where during the interrogation, Kill, you started to have this weird call from the mist, and it was Maya's mother's voice that was kind of begging you for help and then chiding you for not helping Maya. And that seemed to kind of trigger some sort of specific memory of Maya being trapped underneath some rubble and you eventually helping. You did manage to snap out of it, though, and you didn't follow the voice out into the wild. Other things that happened, Jita and Zatek, you managed to dig into the records of this ship a little bit, and you got some astronav data, some mission updates that were sent to Julianus Sextilius Caecilianus, who was the Legion exile that you were told might be responsible for this expedition. And you also found names of some members of the expedition, Jolin, Elia, and Tiv 7. Those were the names that you saw. So we're gonna pick up right there, still in this remnant shuttle, in this remnant ship. You're all still there. You've been on planet for several hours at this point. I'm assuming periodically you all have been communicating something to your wristbands if you're still wearing those. What would you guys like to do? There is a fairly big ship here. You've got this remnant named Freylosh, which is the name that you'll see in some of the ship's data. And Ajax, you can see on your various tracking, boop, 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 moving at great haste deeper into the planet. So, what are we doing?
We going back out there again?
I mean, our goal's not here.
Yeah, the sooner we go, hopefully the sooner we get out of here.
Mhm.
Maybe Ajax has some data on him that'll help us triangulate or something, I don't know. But we should probably leave our Ursine friend here. Because if he and Ajax get close to each other, that's gonna go bad.
Can we
The kind of ship that has a Land Rover or something that we can use on the planet? Or are we on foot the whole time? Because we can't keep up with them.
is moving fast?
Hmm.
Maya's gonna look around the ship for a Land Rover vehicle, ATV kind of thing.
Yeah, no roll necessary for this. Looking around, you don't find a rover. From what you understand from the packet, that there's danger to the way in which the mists interact with various equipment, various technology, right? So like there is concern that it would cause some trouble. So it's not necessarily surprising to see that even like Ajax people were primarily like on foot for most of it. So you don't find anything like that. You do find a couple other things. You find some, you can find that they've got some storage and they got some loot. They've got some battery cells. They got some holographic interface chips that are still in like their corp packaging. They've got a laser etching tool. And they've got some strange looking ancient astral compass that actually looks to be made out of wood in the strangest sense of the thing. And you also find that in one of like the recesses of the ship, where there's just like this odor of like, it's just BO. It's just, you look around and you can see there's like some sleeping arrangements that have been done and like some food on the ground. And there is there's like a video terminal on the wall, and on the ground there is like a gaming headset, not unlike the one that you saw Kill wearing in the back at the at Honor Moon. And you can see that there is like a screen up for Eternal Combat, and it's just sort of waiting for a player to enter the game. It's just like boop, 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 boop. But other than that, that's really all you find. Oh, I'm sorry. One other thing. You do find a very strange looking suit hung up within a stasis chamber. That is one other thing you find.
Call Kill over to look at the suit.
I mean, there is some mention in a previous record of people having a specialized suit to deal with the environment here, like it was mitigating it. I'm not a scientist, but I'm gonna guess to look at it, see if there's anything that makes it look like that kind of a suit.
Yeah, you can, if you want, you can roll like a. I'll take mechanics or biotech, probably one of those two.
Oh, if you'll take mechanics, I'd love
I'll
to roll
take it.
mechanics.
Yes.
Hooray! Oh boy! Wow. So that's a 7 plus a 3, 10. Kill like stares at it. I guess this is a sealed system. I don't know. That's a little more sciencey and a little less, shoving parts together.
Yeah, there's certainly nothing about it that it doesn't look like it is very protective. Like, someone could stab it pretty easily. Like, it doesn't look like it's like armor.
But I don't know. Zatek or Jita might know more than me.
I can take a look at it.
I was interested in the VR thing because I'm assuming that there was a discussion among us that they discuss sort of being in this battle thing. So she wants to see kind of what's going on in the VR and how that may overlay with what they think they're doing.
Yeah, this eternal combat thing struck me.
Mm-hmm.
So if you mess around with it, I mean, you can roll computers test if you want to kind of get in there and mess around in there a bit and see what's up. That's perfectly fine. Dr. T or Zatek, while they're doing that, are you two doing anything in particular?
Yeah, I've got two things that I would be interested in. One is looking at the ship's systems. I would like to be able to send up some kind of distress beacon or flare, something that after we leave this, hopefully we can find this ship again from like orbit.
Gotcha.
Because if we're leaving him behind, it would be nice if we could rescue him later.
Okay.
So some kind of breadcrumb so we can track this down again without too much trouble.
You can.
Okay,
so for that would be a computers or electronics, and then what's the second thing?
The second thing is going to be looking through their records, like looking for like scientific discovery, notation, research, something like that going on with the effects here. Because I think it could be a really rare kind of study information I could gather up on that. So, yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what, if you expend a spare time point, you could potentially gain like some knowledge here, like a knowledge for this. So, and then make a suitable roll. Biotech would probably be the best, I think.
Okay. All right.
So
let me give you
rolls from you.
First one. We'll go with computers because I'm not real good at either of them.
Gotcha. Oh, wow. That's the
13.
best I've ever seen you roll in this game.
Right?
So, yeah.
That's really good.
With a 13, you are able to essentially put up like a signal buoy to... So, and it's not just for your ship, but effectively anyone looking for it, even the Polaris station back on, the Australis, you probably could pick that up. And so it's there and it's on repeat. No problem.
Okay, cool. And then research information, that's still a 13. Not a great roll, but okay.
Okay. I'll say, let's assume for a second Kill shows you the suit. And in doing so, you have seen this suit before. Like, it is actually recognizable to you because you have in your mind, not just like of this, but you have seen it just like any other memory a person might have. The experience of this remnant, Freylosh, as he kind of coordinated and watched some of his team, his expedition team, go off into the mists, right? And you can see that they were wearing these suits.
Okay.
And then as you start digging into, what you realize is that these suits seem to, while they don't hold off the effects permanently, they slow the degradation. That seems to be something that they have experimented with. And as you dig into the data, you find that there is apparently some kind of chamber that they would sort of subject people to, wherever this Julianus Sextilius Caecilianus is hiding out in the Haven system. they have some kind of experimental chamber that they put together to mimic the effects of hypnos.
Okay.
And they would subject people to. So you can read through some data, some quick reading, obviously, of various subjects. And the early ones, we're talking like full onset dementia, like almost instantly. But by the end, it looks like they had managed to curb it somewhat. So
okay, cool.
It slows the degradation, but it doesn't eliminate it completely.
Okay. Very cool.
Okay. Let's cut back to Eternal Combat. Jita, Maya, you said you were interested in that. How'd you do on your roll to mess around in there?
I got a 15.
Okay. So as you start messing around with it, you realize that this is a not I would say not an uncommon, but perhaps not a particularly successful like virtual reality game. It's not nearly as successful and popular as the one that Kill and Zatek were playing back on Honor Base. However, this one seems to pit a group of fighters on one side that are like recruited to, or like not just recruited, but literally abducted and taken from their homes and placed within a battlefield where they have to do battle against these evil people who have taken them. And they're trying to hold off to the destruction of the universe. And if they don't succeed, then the universe will crumble. And from what you can tell, it is very much a reflex fighting game. And so where like the people who are plugged in are doing various combos, and they're having to react with great, I would say quickness, but also like timing of it all. And that seems to have some of the similar rhetoric in like the loading screen startup pieces that align with what Freylosh has been saying. A lot of good versus evil, generic philosophy stuff going on.
Okay. And so Jita will kind of share that with Maya. We'll just kind of talk about, kind of those pieces. And is there any like locations or anything like that kind of within the game, or is it sort of like static or like exploratory?
Yeah. There are a series of different stages, or a series of different arenas for fighting, but there does seem to be one that is placed within kind of a relatively like icy haunted forest that, I mean, I guess in some ways sort of looks like where you're at. And that does seem to be where the screen was on when you first came in here.
Okay. So, and she'll just kind of take notes of some of the language there, if it kind of comes in handy later. Maybe when we're talking to Ajax, maybe there can be something that we can kind of try to reference back to.
Okay, but don't forget, this isn't his ship. This is the Remnant ship.
Yeah. Just kind of having some of that. That's right. Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, just making some notes with that.
Okay. Zatek, what have you been up to?
You said there was like a wooden like navigation.
Yeah, there is this like, it very much looks like a compass or an astrolabe of some kind. It's you're unclear what it actually is. You're welcome if you would like to make a test on it. This would actually be a culture test would be the easiest way to determine some things about this, but I would also take astronomy, though the difficulty for that would be higher.
Okay. I can do culture.
Okay. So it's just a 12 for if you're doing culture. It's a 14 if you're doing astronomy.
Okay. It's better for me to do culture because that's flat. 12.
Okay. What you seem to be looking at is some kind of ancient device. It's a compass that has kind of Kaltoran design to it. Like you can kind of see the, that all of like most modern day like Kaltoran devices are very like slapstick. They sort of pushed things together in terms of its engineering. They splice things and they just make it work. But what you see here is something that seems to have. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say Kaltoran. I meant to say Remnant, like Ursai. Like you can tell that this has got that kind of old design. Like Kaltoran is when you're mixing together like a bunch of different tech, but you know that like Remnant, they're different and that they what you would surmise just from messing around with this is somehow a psionic, like there's sort of like a psionic connection to it. Knowing what you know, you would probably piece together that they're somehow channeling through. I mean, you've manifested your own like psionic abilities last time, but you would think that this is probably for like a psychic navigator to channel their abilities into it, and in doing so, be able to navigate through perhaps the ley storms, or perhaps to places that aren't necessarily on standard navigational charts.
If I hold it like very loosely, how loose do the parts move?
Everything you can tell that there's like certain sliders that will move, but most of it is you can tell it doesn't move easily. You would guess it probably is something you have to move with your mind. Like you can physically
Zatek's
move it
trying
if you
to
want.
absolutely like.
Okay. And a little slider does actually move as you're focusing your brain on.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I'm getting these powers down.
All right. So, Maya or Kill, was there anything more that you were looking to do here? Maya, like I said, you haven't found any vehicles, but there's a few other things. Is there anything the two of you would be doing?
I'm not doing anything particularly. Mine's like visibly anxious to get going.
All right. What about you, Kill?
Just, patching up slightly, getting back endurance, so to speak, trying to like think through his head what gadgetry he thinks Ajax was probably using. I think if he has any experience, like hopefully we don't have to get into that again, but if we did, can he think of maybe what he might have been likely using if it has some sort of limitation or something like that?
If you want, you could roll like probably a culture roll, actually, I would think, just to kind of understand and I would give you a bonus, obviously, because you're Legion and he's Legion, and you're probably using similar tactics, similar abilities, similar equipment. So you could take like a +2 to that and give us a culture
flat roll.
Nice.
I have a 1, a 2, and a 6. I think I'll re-roll that 1. I'm probably not going to get much out of this.
Yeah.
So I've got a whopping 12 now. That's not the worst, but it's not great.
Okay. A 12 would give you some basics. I don't necessarily know. Obviously, you and Maya can deduce your history in terms of when you guys broke apart. But in my head, I'm thinking you guys lost touch for one of the main reasons, obviously, being that Maya and Ajax, their relationship ended. Mm-hmm. And maybe that meant that you as well, Kill, didn't get to see him much. In the time since then, he apparently has undergone some training that you know he didn't have at the time. And likely it's sort of Black Ops style of training, right? Because he's using a variety of these assassin techniques, this idea of being able to find cover and affect visibility, almost doing these very minimalistic teleports here and there where he can kind of shift and move. It's allowing him to quickly change positions. Commonly it's used for like sniper shot, to make a shot and then get away or reposition if necessary. And I'll say the other thing that you would know is that more than likely he is using some kind of modified, very powerful Artemis rifle as probably his main weapon.
So basically, Maya broke off with him and he turned into Winter Soldier.
A little bit.
Got it. Good job, Maya.
Original.
Not the
Always hot. I've always liked very hot, very competent men. What can I say?
Yeah, it's very true. And if we've learned anything from our colleague through the game, Maidre also likes ones that are a little psychopathic and like to murder people. So
just a little
bit.
Skosh.
Just a
little for flavor.
Yeah. All right. So we'll say that you all have taken a breather. You have searched the ship a little bit. You have learned a few things here and there from the computers. You've sent up the signal buoy. You do have he no longer is cloaking his signal. Like you guys can actually track obviously there's some interference from the planet, from the ley fields and stuff, especially when the fog rolls in quite heavily. So every now and then it's sort of intermittent disappearance, but you can tell it's not him turning it off. It's more that, but he is just pushing further and further. He is like a machine in terms of kind of searching it out. So with that in mind, what do you guys do next? Do you head after him? What do you do with the remnant that you have here? What's the plan?
Is that remnant awake still?
Yeah, I think because you guys healed him, and I don't think you ever knocked him back out. And so, he is. You can definitely tell that he's not there anymore. Like his mind has really started to kind of take him down this sort of psychotic path.
I want to bring this device over to him and ask him to teach me how to use it.
Oh my.
Oh wow. Oh god.
Okay.
All the good decisions.
Roll. Oh god. Roll a persuasion test. With a -3 modifier to it.
Okay.
And you're gonna need to hit the higher the better. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
This has good decision written all over it.
We only play once every 2 weeks, so we have to like get them all in. Well,
yeah, that's fair.
11. I'm gonna grit reroll that.
Okay. Oh no.
I'm gonna grit reroll that again.
I didn't think I was gonna be. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
got a 6.
I got a 6. So reroll that.
All right.
Oh, nice.
All right.
So that would make it a 15.
Okay. He will, in fact, teach you a bit, as much as he can at this point. And so what you see is as his tentacles kind of go in this sort of like weird sort of flex in some ways, his eyes that are got that sort of swirling purpleness to it close, and you can see that he almost kind of glows for a moment. And he sort of, as he's doing this, he's narrating what he's doing, how he's like reaching out. And as he does, you can see that in your hand or maybe on the ground next to you, or you set it down, the device starts working. Not only that, but there are these almost imperceptible little grooves and icons that were in it that now light up with it when it starts to function. And much like any other piece of like high tech equipment, you see it begin to almost create this holographic field around it. And you can see what looks like, from your experience, the Cerberus system surrounding you. It does seem to locate yourselves at the center of it, right? And you can see as that projection goes further and further out, it begins to dim and dim until it's no more. And so he tries to explain to you how you take your psychic powers as you reach out, become one, and he mumbles some kind of strangeness about faith and about power itself. And you need to believe in the right power, right? Like you need to, where you're getting your power from has to be righteous. But he doesn't really say more than that. Like, there are many pretenders. Make sure you are not one. And then it shuts down.
Awesome. Okay. I can do that.
Okay. So we'll assume you guys secure him as best you can. Mm-hmm. And then you press on? Is that fair?
We got work to do. What we're doing.
Do we want to put him back in the game, or would that be bad?
Just maybe switch it to a different location, like switch the map.
he's already really messed with because he is not able to.
Oh, I hear you. Here's the thing. He wants to hunt Ajax, but maybe if we right now it's set on like the frozen place, but if we switch it to like look, there's a castle one or something. So like that might keep him from. I don't want to judge him.
He's
terrible.
It's like a VR set. We could switch it to anything. Let's put it on like solitaire.
Someplace not where we're going to be, so that we don't have a giant tentacle bear, jumping.
If he's going to be bound while he's in it, I think that's a great idea. Keep him mentally occupied while he's physically restrained.
Okay. All right.
I don't disagree. Let's give this a try. And so Jita will try to cycle through to a different arena. So there's different arenas, and so like not the arena that kind of looks like this, but a different.
Yeah, there's arena. A really cool like space level where like they're clearly fighting in what looks like a stage that is slowly like a space station that's slowly descending down into a planet, and you can see all sorts of panels and stuff are starting to fall apart, and every now and then like this extra little environmental component will come in, and they'll have to like suddenly float at this point, and you're no longer just running at each other on the ground. You're actually starting to use what looks like some kind of zero grav fighting techniques. But sure,
the game just be us like playing that game through death, like because that sounds pretty great.
I was trying to think of like other names. I was like, maybe they could just switch it over to Stardew Valley. What would the Fragged Empire of Stardew Valley be? It would probably just be Stardew Valley. So I couldn't really think of a different one because it's right there. It's already there. It's just a different kind of star. All right. All right. So I've now done Mortal Kombat so far and in Counter-Strike. So I'm going to keep doing this. See if you can spot them all.
I think Jeremy threw one guess in chat for this Smash Brothers Metroid level.
Do Smash Brothers. Do Smash Brothers.
I was thinking of the castle when you guys have met before from Soul Calibur, because that's how you like go up the levels as you go up like physical levels on the tower.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Okay.
So let's get back to real life in this fictional role-playing game.
So the person that we don't want to deal with, we stick them in front of a screen and say, this is going to occupy your time for a while. And
just like kids.
Just like kids.
You'll regress it to an iPad, baby.
Okay, that's what my parents did with me, and I turned out fine.
I agree. All right, so there wasn't any. I wasn't joking. I was being serious. All right,
it was genuine.
Okay. So we'll say you all begin to head out. Can I just get a general idea again of your marching order? Like I assume Kill's out front. Is that right? He's like kind of taking
right
point
behind him.
Okay. Maya comes up behind.
Only not in front of Kill because Kill won't let her.
Okay. Fair enough. And then who is bringing up the rear? That's all I really need to know after that.
If no one else wants to, I'm happy to.
I can do it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Are we leaving?
Jita's good keeping you in front of her.
Yeah, we're gonna. Boris is with us.
Okay.
So
yes,
I've been
Boris
dragging
is with
his
us.
little pod with us.
Sure.
He's on him.
Because I think last time we walked in, like Kill was in the middle, and then we had like people on every side of him.
Okay.
And I was on one.
No,
side.
that was Hard T. Hard T was the tentacle nucleus.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I'm fine with doing that again.
Okay, so like Dr. T is in the middle, kind of using his tentacles to make sure everyone's connected. Jita, you're in the back.
Yeah.
Kill in the front.
Yeah.
So mom and dad makes sense. Making sure the kids are. Kill, can you, if that's the case, give us a maybe a planets test as you're trying to navigate through here.
Okay.
And then Jita, give us an awareness test as you're really just kind of trying to keep an eye behind to make sure nothing's up. And then the other three of you can do whatever you like. And did anybody actually put the suit on? The only person it wouldn't work with is Dr. T, since it is bipedal.
Someone should, that would have been a point of conversation that since we have one, someone should put the damn thing on.
Is there anybody who's not really armored up?
I'm armored up.
I don't have a lot of armor.
I would probably test it up between Zatek and Jita.
It's very much like a baggy hazmat suit.
I would
would
say
say-
Jita if she'd bring up the rear, especially.
Okay.
Jita would be concerned about her weapon because it's sort of like an innate.
call, because
Oh,
it's
might
like
stifle your
in
thing.
Right out the armpit. Yeah, for sure.
That's
Honestly, everyone.
Jita would be about, and then think about it and say, no, maybe it's a tech.
I think we need to put it on Kill.
would fit
Because
on him.
if we all lose our shit, there's only one person here that's strong enough to carry us all back and strong enough to subdue us if we lose our shit.
That is true.
I see the thinking
Does
there.
it affect
I can see that.
Kill's other armor?
No, I'm not
Hazmat
going to make it
suit?
like that. He's not going to take any of that off. It's very much a loose hazmat suit that it can go
Oh,
over.
okay.
There's-
I was about to say, I've got
Yeah.
a lot built.
I mean,
into
it fit that bear dude. It can fit
Yeah.
you and your armor.
Yeah. You can fit into it. It's very much a loose, like you don't know what the fiber is. You don't know what the material is. And that seems to, from Dr. T's research, they were really, really stressing. And from what you could tell, Dr. T, they were trying to like layer in and embed some kind of psychic energy into the actual fiber itself. And like that's really what was going on. And then there is just a standard glass, kind of not glass, but like see-through mask. So you could certainly wear it. It is tight on Kill, but he can wear it and it would not, and it's not going to hinder you or anything like that. You might look kind of goofy,
All right.
but
That's fine. Of course, I look goofy.
Nothing
I'll
new.
put on the bear suit.
okay. All right. Can I get the awareness test first, Jita?
So I got an 11 and I used a grit to reroll and got a 10. So
Okay.
10.
All right. Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
And I even had a 6 and then rerolled and still got a 10.
Fair enough.
So I tried.
Kill, how did you do on your test?
I got an 11, and then it went down to a 9 because Planet is one of my very worst skills.
Mhm.
Awareness, that
we
would have been
totally
great.
should have. We should have traded.
Yours is more
If we
informatics.
swap, it would probably be
Yeah.
so much better.
Yeah.
Total of 11, you said?
No, it went down to 9 because I have a minus
Well,
2.
then Nice. Excuse me. I apologize.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's utter garbage. I didn't bother spending a reroll on it because
Okay. You guys travel a bit, and again, time is weird. You know that. At a certain point, though, Kill, the mists in front of you and also Jita behind you begin to swirl like extraordinarily heavily to the point where it's almost opaque. So, Jita, you periodically and be able to look behind you and see the ship at a distance, see various rock formations and trees and such from the forest that you've seen, that you've passed. It's just white. And Kill, same thing effectively happens in front of you. And as that happens, maybe you slow a bit, you look at your whoever, so Dr. T or Zatek, who is tracking Ajax, it fades out. Like it's not, again, not something that's alarming. You know this happens when the mist swirls heavy. But Kill, when the mist begins to lighten again, and you can see in front of you, it's still, again, it's always, the mist is always there. It's just a question of how visible it is. Once you can see forward, you swear you see a circle of statues up ahead. And like the mist is sort of almost creating this like vortex around and within, and like you can see this standing almost like a tornado, like right within it. And then Zatek, you hear a voice. You hear somebody calling from within, to the right of you, and over a small burn in the ground, you just hear, Zatek, there's no reason to be afraid. We're not going to hurt you. We just want to protect you. There's people out there who are going to hurt you, and we don't want to hurt you. Just come back. Come back to the planet. Come back with us. It's not safe out there for you. It'll be safer down.
I'm definitely
on Cleve.
trying to clue in on where that's coming from.
Roll a resolve test.
Okay.
Yep. And the rest of you obviously don't hear that.
Right.
The rest of you are fine. Yeah.
That's my resolve.
Yeah.
I mean, fine. Air quotes.
Just great.
Sure. I mean, you already failed your awareness test, so you guys are already dead. So don't worry about it.
I know.
I got a +2
The
resolve.
10 Legion behind you right now. We're not detected.
As we're all like holding
Only
onto a
open fire.
tentacle of Dr. T's.
16.
Just kind of like grip a little bit harder.
Zatek, as you hear that voice, as you look around and you're looking around, you look down at your device that's doing various, your tech device, and you look back up, you realize you are not on the planet anymore. You don't see the mist. You don't see your companions. Instead, you seem to be in a fairly dark, compacted location. Your body has morphed in such a way so that it is not currently perfectly bipedal. And there is a small sliver of light that's coming. You appear to be hiding behind some kind of wall panel or some kind of like garbage machinery. And when you look through that tiny little slit of light, you can see that there are 3 different Twifar. None of them Jita. But you can see the Twifar themselves. Some of them have very colorful clothing, obviously, and some of them have these markings and tattoos and things that are illuminating their skin to some degree. And they're all looking around, and you hear a woman's voice. And you can see the mouth move. Like, Zatek, we're not trying to hurt you. Just come here. Like, we're your friends. We're not your jailers. We're just trying to make sure that the universe doesn't harm you.
What kind of vibe am I getting from them? Like, I feel like I don't trust them.
You pass your resolve test very, very well. And you can see that they are carrying these retaining collars, 1 or 2 of them. And you can also see that there is a tether coming out from one of them. And you can see a shifting blob form behind one that appears to be another one of your kind, another Zhou. And that retaining collar is somehow like preventing them from shifting to get out from within that collar itself. And it certainly looks like they're trying to put one on you. They might think that they're being good, but it certainly doesn't look like they're being good.
It'll be hard to put a collar on me if I'm flat. So I'm going to arcane body morph and just flatten myself out into a big puddle as much as I can and just try and slither away.
And as that happens, Jita and Dr. T. Dr. T, are you floating? Are you flying?
Yeah.
Okay. You find yourself suddenly flying over top of a flattened Zatek, this big pool in the ground. His clothing, whatever it is that he's wearing that wasn't part of his mass, has kind of shifted in shape. Jita, you actually step directly on top as he has become this flattened mass laying on the ground that seems to disrupt the whiteness of the ground.
And so she'll kind of tug on the tentacle that she's connected to with Dr. T. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Seeing that, I would also kind of give a tug on Kill and Maya as well to stop them. And
okay.
I'm just gonna try.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened?
He was feeling a little down, I think.
Maya's gonna bend down, and gently touch what I think is his face or shoulders, or what could reasonably.
There's probably like a little bit of a mass in the middle that the mask is sitting on.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
then, like right by them, like Zatek.
And Zatek, you see one of the Twifars like reach a hand into the seam of light that you've been kind of looking at. And right as it's about to make contact with you, you see that the Twifar morphs and shifts, and they're standing in front of you. As Maya, you feel like the cold doesn't bother you, but you can feel the shift in temperature. And you can see your friends around. You can see Jita standing on top of you for some reason. And you can see Dr. T is hovering above.
Are you okay?
Yeah. And I'll like slither back into my clothes and reconstitute myself.
Cheetah sort of like falls. She just sort of like she was standing on part of you that is suddenly not there anymore. And she's like, ah. Luckily, she was holding onto one of Dr. T's tentacles, so she kind of like rights herself. Oh, sorry that I was stepping on you there.
I thought I'd dropped something, and I didn't.
You can just bend over to pick those up. You don't got to get naked for it.
Are you sure the planet wasn't doing stuff to you? I mean, we should know if it is.
No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And my exchanges are very like, I don't believe him. Look what.
Yeah, it's a super unconvincing.
Yeah,
like,
no, Maya is not
no.
convinced, but she is dropping it. It's very clear doesn't believe you. But she's dropping it.
It's a memory, and it's still a memory. So we're good.
All right.
Okay. We had a lot of ground to make up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna check to see like if anything pings, like checking for age signal, because do you all see the vortex up there? Maybe
you do now that he pointed out. All of you can see it. Absolutely.
Oh God, or
It's
did I
there.
do the pink elephant thing?
Oh, I see it.
Got it.
Okay. Well, I don't
Let's take
really
a
know
look.
where else to walk because everything else is a stinking swirling mist, and God, I don't
Dex
know.
did
Is
say
it-
there were 9 of his people that were missing, so we should, if there are anything equipped anything like him, we need to keep an eye out.
So
True.
Cheetah kind of starts moving in that direction, and she waits to see if like Dr. T moves in the same direction, since we're kind of all connected.
Yeah.
And don't forget that the vortex thing is like swirling around, but looks like a couple like statues, like not like chunks of rocks, like literal, like you can see the form of people, broad-shouldered, much like Kill, and they're just standing. And like every now and then you can see them, like a shoulder or a head or a leg, suddenly appear as that mist continues to swirl opaquely, covers them, and then sort of shifts and moves again, and then partially reveals them, and around it goes. Anybody who wants to take a closer look can do so with an awareness test. It does require you to get a touch closer, but you certainly can do it.
I'll get up close, just in case.
Yikes. I tried and failed majorly.
What does that mean?
7.
Okay. So as mom and dad close in on the vortex, you watch as the vortex itself seems to just suddenly expand and then contract. And as it does so, Jito disappears. Kill, how did you do?
18.
Oh my gosh.
17 for me.
How'd you do, Maya?
17.
17.
Is everyone making this?
It's only if you want to. If you're making it, that means you're getting close enough to that vortex to potentially sort of the danger that Jita is, which was the unexpected consequence. It's expected to happen. But
Yay.
I feel like if she was checking it out, I'd be going over to it too.
okay. Then yeah, give it a roll.
I'm tagging along with the group.
Only. Oh no,
Yeah.
not even.
No, I'm not paying attention
Awareness.
to the thing. I'm more concerned
Awareness,
about all
okay.
of you, but
Okay. You're lingering behind, just grabbing onto their belt buckle, or not their
like,
belt buckles.
not too
that's
far.
weird.
Not
like
too
they're-
far.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, they're
14.
belts, not the buckles.
Yeah. Because you're behind them, because that would be weird otherwise.
I'm
Be
like
wrapping around and-
the
Yeah.
Actually,
pink fleshy suspenders of this group.
Okay. Kill, you rolled really high, I think. Is that correct? You rolled an 18?
18.
And then Jita, you rolled, or not
s-
Jita, Maya rolled a 17, I think. And then Zatek.
I got a 17 as well.
Okay. All of you watch as you can see like a tornado, Jita, and you're experiencing this, you're getting dragged all the way up into the air. You're like 30, 40 feet in the air, and then you begin to, and when you hit the ground, you slam with a not inconsiderate amount of force. You can go ahead and take 6 points of endurance loss.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That goes off your max, I should say. That is that it's not endurance loss, it's off your max.
Oh, okay.
As you get smashed to the ground. But the good news is that as she does so, you can see that that vortex just fades and shifts, and it now leaves Jita at the perfect center of what looks like a ring of statues. There appear to be 5 people, or 5 like people-looking statues, in a ring around Jita as you slam to the ground. Breath lost, like you don't break anything, but you certainly are having trouble breathing as you hit the ground with great force.
So she's definitely like, oh, ow.
Maya's like running to her to help.
Hey guys, found it. Like as if this.
Yep.
She's not really sure what just happened, but she's acting like she did something that was like very useful right now.
Yeah, you did the thing.
Oh.
Yep.
So
And then she wants to like move over to one of them and see like what exactly this is that she just
I'll tell you,
some
Zatek-
broken ribs for.
Zatek might kill, and then Jita, as you get up, you notice that these are not in fact statues. These are actually people. But they are, you can see none of them are wearing any clothing. All of them are Legion. You can tell that there's no equipment, no clothing, nothing like that. All of them are kind of coated in like this sheen of something. It could be ice, but it looks like not quite. It's some substance, some material kind of covering it. And they're all looking up at the sky and in terror. They're like a lot of them are just doing like their hands are kind of going up like this. Some of them are covering their heads in some way with their arms over top. 1 or 2 of them are almost being defiant, and they're kind of like holding their fists out as if something kind of swooped in and attacked them from above. Looking around, you guys are kind of near a fairly rocky series of kind of canyons and things like that. But this is open field. So there's really nothing above you as you look up.
Are there 9 of them?
No, there are 5.
Okay.
And they're just holding still? Like, do we see them moving like a little bit as if
they don't appear to be moving?
I'll take a core sample. My little medical kit out to make sure there's still, there's still that gooey nougat there in the center.
Is there something to rescue here?
Yeah.
Roll a medicine test, or biotech if you're using some particular equipment.
I'll do medicine.
That would apply. Yeah.
But what are you doing?
We got to figure out if it's a person or it's an 18.
Okay.
Wow. Unexpected consequence.
As you take whatever kind of sampling kit you have, and you go to dig in and scrape it away, you just watch as it crumbles right in front of you, like into this sort of, not sludge, but it's definitely got like a chunkiness to it. Like it's a mix of like of earth and slime as it falls. You have a sample of it for sure. And it cascades as every other one of these bodies does the exact same thing right as you touch it. In the center of each one of them, though, you do notice that there is like this glowing blue-green crystal of some kind. It just it lands on the ground.
I think that's their soul. Yeah. With all of my experience with Legion anatomy, never came across their inner crystal bit. Who wants to reach down and touch that thing?
I do.
Jita's still trying to get up from kind of falling on the ground, so she's relatively close to one.
Kill, you would know that this is not Legion anatomy. This makes no sense. But Gio, you can reach in and you can grab one of those crystals. It's about the size of like an orange or something like that.
Yeah, I'm grabbing one as well and just kind of inspecting and
Medical
I
scans on
don't even know
Maya.
what I should be looking for.
Well, you tell me what you would be looking for, and then we'll do a roll, and that might determine something. What would Maya be looking for? Same thing, Jita. If Jita, you took one as well. If there's something in particular you're looking for.
She's always looking for like anything that she looks at. She's always looking for some type of, because we've come across these like hidden star charts and different things like that. So like her brain is always on like astronomy and planets and all of that. So like that's what she's always looking for whenever she looks in something.
Then you should roll an astronomy test.
Okay.
What about Maya?
I don't know what I would look for in this capacity, but essentially I would love to know if these were something that grew inside of the Legion, like after they got here, or was it like placed in them at some point?
Gotcha. I would say you could probably roll a medicine. You could probably roll a biotech. Either one of those things would be fine.
You got this. I believe in you.
I'm marginally less shit at medicine.
How'd you do, Jita? On your
an audience
15
dice, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. Audience dice. Remember, it's not audience dice. It's a reroll. It's a single die reroll.
Right.
Is what we're doing.
Thank you.
Okay. So Jita, you rolled a 16. There you said
15.
15. Okay. Your hunch is very much correct. As you see within this thing, it is more bluish in color than the large data shard that you have, which was huge and chunky, and was nestled on the back of Franklin, your turtle friend.
Mm-hmm. Franklin.
This one is smaller. It has got the same. It's still crystalline, and you very much can see that there appears to be some kind of nav chart inside. With the 15, however, you're unable to immediately recognize where it is, but it very much looks like a system. It doesn't immediately register with you, so that means it probably rules out Haven. It probably rules out Cerberus, right? So any other system Jita would have gone to, but you didn't roll high enough to be able to identify it. You could potentially do it later as you get back to your ship and dig into it some more. And then Maya, how'd you do?
13.
From what you could tell from looking at this and looking at the substance on the ground, you're not sure that these are in fact the Legion, or if it was like a mimic or something kind of tried to shape it. Like there's nothing on the ground that suggests organs, skeletal structure, anything like that. Obviously, Dr. T has a sample, and he could potentially run some further tests, especially when she gets back to the med lab on your ship. But at first glance, it doesn't look like these are corpses. From what you would probably know is that under certain situations with great heat and compression, certain kinds of minerals can form other types of crystals and gems and things like that. Unlike everything else around you, that mass and slime that Dr. T was able to sample and that kind of collapsed to the ground, all of it is very warm. It's probably the warmest you've felt since you've landed on Hypnos.
I'm going to share all of that with everybody and suggest to Hard T that we both take samples and also take a temperature reading of what this is right now, because it might go down by the time we get to the ship.
Well, I've got my sample. Yeah, I'll pull out my little IR thermometer and take a read of what that goo is.
You would notice that it's probably about 30 to 40 degrees, depending on which goo you go to. Higher than probably average Legion temp, like a body temp.
It's running hot.
It's rapidly cooling though. Now that kind of protective casing, think of it almost like a sausage casing, has been sort of ripped through.
Honestly, I think this may be some of Zatek's friends or some of Bohr's friends, but when we get back to the ship, I can run some more tests on the core sample I have.
Or like those things, like Franklin's crystal held data on it, right?
one too. This one,
yeah. So like,
it's got something on it. I just can't quite tell where.
forgive me, I'm not normally the deep lore guy, but somebody mentioned something about like the stuff that was here a long time ago. There was even like, the like think like some supercomputer kind of like taking control of everything. What if this is like data that somehow is trying to form a body, so to speak?
Hadn't gone there, but that's a fun thought.
So should we try to keep them warm?
If you've got a good idea, I mean, it could be like an egg.
And so, like,
my armor does have protection against the cold, so I could carry a few small test tubes.
These crystals is what we're talking about.
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant.
And the crystals were smaller, so like theoretically,
size of an orange.
Yeah.
Either way, I have rads and cold protection on my armor, so I can probably keep it at least a body temperature.
We could
Mama
try
bird
that.
now.
And Vegeta has the one in her hand, and she's not particularly keen on giving that one up. So
I have one. I'll just keep mine.
We
What tests have we done on these so far? We did astronomy and
a biotech or a medicine. Whatever Maya rolled. Yeah.
Okay.
While you guys are all standing around and looking at this, etc., each one of you feel a small vibration and hear a little beep as your armbands go off, signaling it's time to kind of speak your mantra in. However, as each of you go and looks down, you notice that 5 hours have passed in the span of which should have only been an hour. So either time is messing with you again, your armbands are malfunctioning, or you don't remember the last 4 check-ins.
Can I, with that, do a quick check to see if I did those?
Yeah, go right ahead. The lone exception to that, by the way, was kill. As kill yours goes off and you do your thing and everything seems to be fine. And like for you, like it doesn't feel like 5 hours have passed. Like, I mean, you feel like 5 hours have like actually passed. Like the time makes sense to you, but everybody else, it feels like they've missed something along the way. Like these little moments of short-term memory have just depleted.
It was another one of those weird things, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been...
I mean, I've still got some storage space if we want to gather the rest of them.
Yeah.
I've still got...
Yeah, let's probably spend our time investigating these in a place where we have...
Right. Let's pick them up and go.
Yep.
Dr. T, when you check, you did all of your check-ins.
Okay. Just quick scan, nothing weird.
Nothing unexpected than the other weird stuff that you've noticed before. It doesn't seem like the armbands are malfunctioning. It's just your short-term memory just didn't register those check-ins for some reason. Okay. But it's there. It's on your wrist.
Are you hanging in there, Boris?
Who are you? Who's Boris?
You're Boris. I'm Zatek.
We are not Boris.
I'm
just kidding.
Yes, you are. You got me.
We got you. So good, Zatek.
Are you feeling anything from this? Because I feel like your brain's pretty different.
Our brain is very different, yes. Our brain is very different, yes.
That's concerning. You used the wrong type of person to refer to yourself. We gotta get you out of here.
We are fine. We are among friends.
How far?
Everyone's a friend?
You don't hear Get out
I
of there.
know.
There's only one connection.
Yep.
Quit metagaming, Melissa. All right. What do you guys want to do now? Do you want to push forward? Do you want to? I'm assuming, are you collecting all of the crystals?
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever they
Heck
don't
yeah.
carry,
Yeah.
I've got space. And
Yeah.
Whatever I can reasonably like offer gold protection from, I would
Sure.
like to.
What if we all grab different ones? Because they're all in different poses, right?
Yes.
And in our record thing, we'll say like which one we grabbed, just in case they were different people.
If you like.
I mean, we can. We could also just tell Kill. He doesn't seem to be too affected by this now that he's wearing his fancy suit.
you gotta say the bear suit's growing on me.
And
That's
Cheetah's just gonna keep hers, and she's just gonna sort of kind of put it sort of in her midsection, and you can kind of see sort of the light of the Twifire sort of moving towards it to try to like keep it warm a bit.
We're microwaving it.
Okay. But maybe, honestly, the way this place works, I don't really know how much marching order works, and I realize I don't know at all how to navigate.
Okay.
I'm a metagaming bastard, and I think we should swap roles.
I mean, would that
I
make
mean,
sense?
we don't know
No,
where
it
we're
wouldn't.
going.
I don't know that there's a way that the person in the back can do the. No.
Well, and for with Kill having the most protection from the
Yeah.
planet, then
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep failing. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And random sniper rifle fire.
well, and you could do it like individual rerolls, like individual dice
It's true.
rerolls here and there. But
And don't
this is
we
what this
have
planet
a-
is.
a sensor ping on
Yes.
my?
And you have been
weapons?
traveling towards that as efficiently
Okay.
as you can. Yeah.
All right.
Good enough.
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay. So you push forward, and more like light mist begins to swirl here and there. You kind of get back into your usual formation, and after a little while, as it starts to fade away, you realize that you guys have somehow stumbled into like these ravines. Like you can feel the earth dip a bit and then come up, and then when it fades around, or when the fades away, you start to see that there are these walls of rock that you have somehow found yourself in. And you look back and you realize that you might have been in this for some while, as the walls have kind of tapered and the mist has sort of been hurting you in a particular way. There is a kind of an eerie silence, as most of the time that you've been walking, you've been hearing the crunch of your feet, but you've also been hearing like the sounds of distant wind and various various like fauna that might have been shifting or moving about somewhere, or just the sound of crackling ice. But as you start walking through, it is extremely quiet in here, to the point where whoever is carrying that tracker that has been beep, beep, even that seems to be dimming, as if there's like sound absorption that's kind of happening here and there. When you look around, there are these moss-like drippings here and there, like these kind of growths in some of the ravine walls. There's these colorful striations, and you can see like the moss is seeping out of some cracks here and there. And every time that beep, beep happens, you kind of see like this little fluctuation of color in the kind of the moss around you. Like it has this luminescent quality. Anybody who would like to give me we could do, actually, you guys tell me, what would you be doing as you enter into this, like you're in a series of ravines, you're seeing like these twists and turns, like you're moving about here and there, your sound's getting kind of quiet, the moss is kind of flickering, and there's some of these very tall walls. What would everybody be doing as they're walking past? Like, just give me a test that you might want to roll, or an action that you might want to take as you're doing this.
I would be very curious about this moss.
Okay.
Yeah, the fact that it's responding to audio response.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe taking a little sample, maybe yelling at it a little bit, see what I can do to get a reaction out of it.
Give me a biotech.
You got it.
Are you like cutting some of it off?
Yeah.
That's what taking a sample is. He can't take the whole ravine with him. Can he? A big Zakagra space.
Get a little petri dish out. That's a 14. I can live with that.
Okay.
Take like an inch square and put it in there.
You take a sample of this moss. You yell at it, and as you do, it almost blinds you with brightness as it's like reacting to you shouting at it.
That's wild.
Jita, what are you up to?
So Jita would have kind of gone up to, because it's moss that's hanging on walls, right?
Yeah, the walls, like, it's undulating. So some of them go up like 20, 30, 40 feet. Some of them are only like 10 feet high, but like it's a ravine wall and you're wandering through these canyons and such.
So Jita wants to sort of do this sort of like knocking and banging on like the ravine walls in different places, just to sort of see like, you know, kind of like hitting it with her hand, kicking it with her boot, and kind of doing all these things to see if that does anything with the moss.
Okay. Give us like an awareness maybe, as you're just kind of just seeing if you can interpret or notice any reaction to what you're doing.
Okay.
And then Kill, what are you up to?
I mean, initially I was going to say I was looking for something else amidst the moss, or seeing if like there's a pattern of where the light goes whenever something stimulates it.
You can roll awareness. Sure.
Give it a go.
G, did you got your roll yet? It's a fail.
Me and awareness. 13. I keep rolling awareness and I keep failing it.
Yeah. I mean, nothing new that you can notice. Occasionally you see a flicker of light. But you do notice like it does feel deadened in some way. Like each time you make some kind of clattering against the rock wall. Kill, how'd you do with the awareness test?
13.
I'll tell you this, is that you do notice like every now and then the moss seems to move, especially higher up. And once or twice you do hear extremely faint the sounds of something kind of scurrying further up. And you not just hear it, but you see like the tiniest bit of flickering of light in the moss as like those like scurrying sounds kind of echo downwards.
I mean, I'm sorry. That just makes me think like spider webs and, you know, creepy space light spiders. I don't know. I don't like it here.
Maya, what are you up to?
The sound dampening is the more interesting thing to her than the moss. Mm-hmm. So she wants to try to do like different volumes, different frequencies of audio and see if anything is more dampened than anything else.
Okay. Let's do like electronics maybe. Messing around with some audio equipment. And then Zatek.
Maya does her own audio leveling for her.
Yeah.
For videos.
I really need to like put a point in electronics because narratively it just makes so much fucking sense. And I just haven't.
Zatek, what are you doing while Maya is messing around with some dubstep?
I'm also going to use a dad server your old face.
I also want to take like just a piece of this moss and break it away. And then I want to ask Boars, like, hey, I know your planet's mostly fungus, but I imagine we saw other types of things on there too. Do you know much about moss? And I've got some that I could show you.
Okay. What do you want to roll? Obviously, Boars basically passes or fails based upon the whims of me. So what are you rolling?
I'll say if I'm trying to, could I do like a help for boars? Like either like I don't have
I'm
a
not going to
bonus
roll
to
with
it,
boars. This is you got to roll, Joe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a bio.
Well, I know, but
maybe.
I was going to say like a leadership or something for me to like inspire boars, and that's like my role through him as proxy.
Okay, I'll take that. You're at least rolling something. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Leadership.
Just
How
because I think it's
arrogant
fun.
of you to think that you are leading boars.
Right.
A
Fascinating.
little shit's leading us all to our
Leadership, or I could do persuasion.
How did you do?
Well,
check in with Maya. Maya, how did you do?
12 with one audience dice.
Okay. You notice that it seems to be much more reactive to bass, so kind of lower tones bass, than it is to like treble and higher pitches. You've noticed as well, like, because now that you're doing that, you can't actually really hear your footsteps, especially Kill as he goes thump, thump. You don't really hear it. Like it completely, now that's like you're kind of messing around with it a little bit. But any kind of like squeaking of your equipment or that strange fabric that he has on, whenever you can see him sort of turn and there's like this little high pitch, it doesn't seem to absorb that as much.
Is there any am I able to notice anything with volume? Like louder sounds?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to. It seems like the louder it is, the easier it is for it to be absorbed. But it doesn't seem like whispering is immune to it. Like you can even any kind of sound seems to have been lessened in some degree. So like it probably scales. We'll say. Like the louder something gets, the more it'll be reduced. It's trying to level out the audio, which is a person who has done a lot of podcast audio editing. Fucking pain in the ass.
It's a compressor.
Yep.
Yeah. I wish this mouse existed here so I can just get it to do my audio leveling for me. Zatek, how did you do?
I rolled a 12.
Okay. So Boris will say to you,
we like moss. Moss is pleasant to be around. It smells good. It doesn't really bother us in any particular way, but it's not very smart. We've never met sentient moss before. That's not to insult it, but whenever we introduced ourselves to it, we would never get a reply. So maybe it just didn't like us. But
I'm sure that's not the case.
I guess. Maybe. But I'm not familiar with this, but...
I'm sorry.
We're not familiar with this. However, there is nothing that we can immediately observe that seems to suggest that it would be harmful to us. Whether it is harmful to you is a different question.
Okay. Thanks, Boris. I'm good with
you
that.
You got it, dude.
Okay. While this is all happening, and all you're kind of testing around here and there, Kill, you had the awareness. Once or twice, you notice that there is a deeper in the ravine. You can see like some kind of bright light just pulse and then sort of dissipate, and then pulse and then kind of dissipate again. You can't see the source of it, but you can see it just kind of get thrown onto a distant rock wall, maybe a couple 100 yards in front of you, here or there, a peak that comes up over top of another, crossing wall here or there. But you can tell there's something of light, and it's kind of changing. Like sometimes it's blue, it's red, it's purple, it's yellow. Mm-hmm. It's like kind of this shifting light.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry, guys. My gut is telling me that something here is communicating to something over there. We don't understand this place, and there's a part of me that thinks it might be prudent not to be here if a response comes.
Is the direction of that communication you're picking up the direction we need to go to find what's his face?
Yes.
Fuck.
Which isn't to say you can't backtrack and go around. You certainly could.
No. Okay, well, let's just, heads on a swivel. Maybe it's not terrible. Boris has a good feeling, or if that got shared.
Yeah, I would have relayed what Boris said.
The other thing that happens, Jita, as you're smacking the walls, you're trying to play bongos on the walls.
Not getting anything from it.
You suddenly feel your Farron just almost try to wrench itself from you in a moment. Like you just feel, just kind of get tugged, this sort of spiritual energy, as if like it's sort of reacting to something, like it's afraid or it's fearful. Like you know how it pulses and it sends that kind of alien emotion to you. It doesn't really communicate with you, but you're getting this like strange and utter sense of anxiety as it, and you can feel it almost trying to tug you this way or that way, and you realize it's not trying to lead you any particular way. It's trying to go, and it's kind of trying to get you to go as well. Like it's anchored to you, but you feel just this wash of it. And anybody looking at Jita, you can see that there is kind of a glow to her that just begins to happen. And Kill, you would notice that it almost matches in some ways that kind of shifting color deeper into the ravine. And her forehead just suddenly beads with sweat. You can just see this cold sweat begins to come down. And once more, this like clittering, like this clacking sound, like up above somewhere. You look up, mists are swirling, and you see a shadow, and then, no, maybe not.
I don't want to freak you out or anything, but you're kind of glowing in harmony with what was down there.
We should go. We should go.
Are you okay? Jita? Let's go. Okay, let's go.
Yes, we need to move. I can't put words to it, but we need to.
I am
right.
linking her arm and just like marching.
You take her arm, you march forward, and Maya, you see directly ahead of you. We'll put it at, I don't know, like 6, maybe 25 feet in front of you. On what looks like this sloping down ravine, there is a sort of a colorful bluish looking arachnid. I'll just go ahead and do it. It's not, but we'll say it. Some kind of large, semi-large creature, like the size of like a large dog, that is standing on what looks like 6 legs and is perched up, and it's just kind of shifting here and there. It has no eyes, but it's just shifting. And you guys are running and running and running, and every time you run, there's like a flicker of the light, and then Kill, as you see Maya and Jita kind of launch forward, you see not just up in front of them what kind of gives Maya pause, but you see 2 more of them on the high end, suddenly on either side of this ravine, begin to kind of creep down underneath the mist form, and they're like these tiny little steps, and with each step you see just the faintest glimmer in this moss. I'm going to take you guys over to a map if you don't mind.
Yay!
Oh gosh.
I was actually having some trouble accessing Forge. Jeff, could you just send me another invite?
You shouldn't need an invite. There is a pin in our fragged. Oh no, there's not
I
a
think
pin, but
the link
looks
was
like Joe and Chuck
shared.
just dropped one.
Yeah,
So-
I've been having trouble with Forge the last couple of days.
Okay.
Guys.
So make sure.
What does it show when you go to it?
There's private game. This game is private, and you are not invited to it. Ask your game master for the
Listen.
invitation.
Make sure you're logged into Forge.
I am.
Okay. So I send you his link, so you should be in it. I didn't kick you because I can still see it in the player list. But with that kind of attitude.
We were just looking for a more discreet way to break the news.
Yeah.
I mean, he already shot you with
like
your
Office
ex-boyfriend.
Space.
What more hint do you need?
Just like Office. So it's like, well, it's just these kind of things just kind of work
Just
themselves out.
not getting it,
Right?
which is
Oh,
so
no.
obtuse.
Oh no.
All right. So we are going to shift into, as you might expect, a certain level of, what do they call it? Combat, as we are going to be in initiative mode. As you can see, you guys can see what you see. I have set it up so that you can see what you see. And you can see that there are a handful of these that are shifting and moving about. Let me readjust here a little bit, help the crowd see it, those on stream.
Very cool.
We can say, I know that I'm going to rearrange positions ever so slightly. I'm going to say that.
That's awesome.
Maya,
Mel, I'm so sorry. I should have done a quick check with you. You're okay.
It's totally fine.
Dragging you.
Her Farron was doing the same thing. So internally she was being dragged, and externally she was being
I
dragged.
kind of
So
just
it's all
figured you
good.
just looked really fucking scared and anxious.
No, she's
so
all good. I would have said no, I'm not. So we're good.
Okay. Everything's ready to go. So we're all set up. Got initiative going. If you're curious about the map, this is Che and Peku's Sci-Fi map. If you want to, I'll drop a link if you're watching this later on YouTube, you can see a link to it. And if you're listening to this on podcast, go check it out on YouTube. You can see what it looks like. We do have some semblance of it. So you can see, I'll tell you, everything you can see is exactly whatever you can see on the map is what you see. You can see that there is a creature climbing down from above you to the left, to the right. Now that you look back, you can see there's some that are starting to make themselves apparent, and then there's one straight ahead. However, they go last. And because Kill passed his test, there's no ambush stuff happening. So we're just going to go right in. It's going to be Maya or Jita. Both of you are at 4.3. Go in whatever order you want. I don't care. So what would you like to do?
I'm happy to go first, Jita, if you want, or if you think you would have an instant reaction because of what's happening with your parent.
No, because she's still trying to, the process of communication between Twyfar and Farron takes time to figure out a little bit. So you'd probably be a little more clear-headed.
Okay. In that case, I'm using my Wormic Spitter.
Sure.
And I'll do a I'll do a sided shot.
Okay.
For my first action to this guy on my right.
I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think Maya would have had her gun out when she was testing stuff and then grabbing Jita and running? Do you think she would have it in her hand?
I think so.
Okay.
She's
fair enough.
Super not. She's very anxious about the dangers on this planet.
Absolutely. That's perfectly fine. Okay. So good. So no prep action for you. So you can do the sighted shot. So you get to attack with your weapon. You add your reflexes to your attack roll value for that attack. So go ahead and roll your attack and add your reflexes. And your range shouldn't be affected as sighted shot also increases range, which is perfectly fine. One of the things that while Matra's figuring out her role, as Maya, you go to shoot, you can see this one. Is it the one straight ahead? The two on either side of you are fairly high up, but you can certainly do it. I would add anyone who's trying to fire at the creatures on either side and above would be there. They would have light cover just from the elevation, but the one straight ahead is perfectly visible. No issues whatsoever.
One straight ahead then.
So as you do so, you see it kind of lift up, and you can see as it starts to unfurl, there's still no face. You don't see any eyes. It just kind of opens up almost like a worm in some way, and that there's just nothing in particular. But then you see some kind of spout begin to form underneath the neck portion, and you see it's like it's getting ready to hurl something at you.
Yeah, this fucked up memory planet really needed mutant face fighters, so I'm really excited about this. I just double check my hit on this because it's been a minute.
Okay.
I have 3d6 hit dice on which I've rolled 14. My plus hit is 5.
Okay.
And my reflexes are 4.
Okay, so then you would have hit a total of 23 for your attack roll.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Which is a miss. No, just kidding. That totally hits. That is very much a hit. I don't think there's anything that exists in the game. Perhaps maybe an Archon that has that high a defense. But yeah, you're good. That hits. You can go ahead and what's your damage for that?
2 plus my focus, which is 4. So a 6.
6 points of damage. Okay, so as you line up, as you fire straight ahead, you deal 6 points. Okay.
And one of my hit dice was a 6. Does that mean it's
you can do
damage?
crit? Yes, you can do your strong hit crit if you would like to do that.
Okay.
Okay, so
that
6 points
would
of end.
be really great. My weapons critical damage plus a random 1d6 attribute. Weapons critical damage is 3.
Okay. Well, I can tell you this: the 3 points of critical damage is enough to kill this thing.
Amazing.
So as it rears up, getting ready to shoot, you aim right at the spout, and as you fire at the spout, it suddenly explodes, and you can see this sudden eruption of this kind of aquamarine greenish goo right where the head kind of used to be, and it just kind of flops down. And so that one is very much dead.
She was freaking out, but now she looks behind it. Kill it, you see?
Okay.
Broad Papa moment.
That is just your first action. What's your second action?
Oh
my
right,
gosh.
I get a second action.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't I do a...
You said that you had your weapon out, so I didn't try to nickel and dime you for a prep. So you did your sighted shot. That was your first action. So you should have a second
I'll do
shot.
another sighted shot for this dude on the right.
Okay. These the ones on the right, they will have cover, but go ahead and fire anyway.
Okie dokie. Oh, like almost the same roll. So 22 to hit this time.
Also a hit. Absolutely.
And with 1 6, so that gives me my crit.
Okay. And you see a second one as it begins to start coming down and looks like it's about to do the same thing. But right as it does, the shot comes out from her gun and it kind of explodes into this green. I know it's red on the screen, but imagine it's green as there's this green hideous gore. Okay. And that is your turn as you remain in that position.
Gosh. Maya with the shoot ahead under the arm.
It's so cool.
All right, Jita.
I feel very badass.
Your turn. What would you like to do, Jita? Your Farron is being a little weird, but what would you like to do?
Jita is going to... She's looking around and she's going to go for the one that's off to the left that's up on top.
Absolutely.
So she will also try to do a sighted shot.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
And
Go
so
right ahead.
I rolled a 6 and a 1, which is going to be a 16 to hit.
And
so I can use the 6 to re-roll the 1 if I need to.
So let me double check because I think it's going to get to add its intelligence to its defense because it's going to have some cover firing up that strange rocky slope. I don't think it's that intelligent though, so I think you're still okay. Let me double check. No, 16 you said?
Yeah.
That is exactly enough. You're good to go.
Sweet. Okay, so it's a 6 and a 1. So then I also get to do a critical hit. So regular damage would be a 6, crit damage would be a 4.
Okay. And you're doing your innate ability, right? So we don't have to worry about prep from you. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. And you also take another one out. So 3 of them take it out so far. All right,
what happens
Jita,
when I take this out? Like Jita's been paying attention to her Farron. So like what happens when she kind of does this killing blow?
I would say nothing. Nothing too noticeable. Like they're still anxious. They're still trying to pull you away. But I would say you know her pretty well. You know your Farron pretty well. Maybe there's like the slightest hint of relief, but quickly replaced by more anxiety.
Okay.
You have a second action. Now, you can, I will say, notice that there are others visible to you behind you in two separate places. However, they are a little bit further up. Your range is going to be impacted if you do it. So it's just going to be outside of your ranger commit, which is totally fine. You can still take a shot. Just letting you know.
Yeah, I think she is going to use her second action for a reposition to try to get herself like back to one of these cliffs to try to get a little bit of like cover or something, because the stuff seems to be a bit behind. So she would do a reposition.
So are you specifically looking for cover with the reposition action?
Yeah. Okay. So if there's like a crevice within like the wall, so like if I'm looking over here to the kind of right side, like if there's sort of like a crevice there to kind of like, okay, I killed the one up ahead, so let me see if I can kind of be in this corner.
Okay. I don't think Maya would be. I think she's.
Sorry.
She's a little too far. No problem.
So sorry, I grabbed the wrong one.
Yeah. Well, you don't really move as much as you just kind of tuck yourself into it. So essentially, you're going to go from no cover to light cover, which is fine. You could wedge yourself into this, and so just remember that you have
I'm
light
basically
cover.
in that little crevice right there.
Absolutely. All right, Dr. T, you've just seen 3 of these strange creatures blown up around you. What would you like to do, buddy?
Emergency appendectomy. I use the prep action to start out with. I pull my laser scalpel.
I like it.
I fly up to that one up there on the wall.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
That's true. You could do that, can't you? Oh, geez.
And then I just take out some vestigial organs and see how it does.
Oh, boy.
Okay, buddy.
That's an 18 to hit.
I'm going to say no cover for it because you flew up here. So that is just straight up a hit. Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
So I got a 6 on that, right?
Yes, you did. You did.
So I am going to make that the strong hit where it does the critical damage instead.
Okay. What is the critical damage you do?
3.
3? That is enough, in fact, to actually kill it.
Amazing.
Oh, I got the
what
giblets.
Does it look like? What does it look like as you get up there and you scalpel away at it? Yeah.
Oh, it's just I fly up there, multiple tentacles going. I stretch out a piece of skin and I just cut in and start pulling out the spaghetti.
Beautiful. Excellent turn. Excellent turn.
Wow.
So he did his prep, then he did his attack. All of that was fantastic.
Oh, I should have. It was a sighted attack. I apologize. I didn't say that beforehand, but that's how.
You're all good. No worries.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good either way. All right, Zatek. No pressure. But thus far, everyone has been very successful on their turns.
3 for 3.
Yeah.
My turn then. I doubt Zatek had his weapon out. So I will I'll prep that.
Okay.
And then
you get a second half of the prep action.
I can see this one. Kind of that one.
Ping it again. Which way? I'm sorry.
I think I can see this one.
You can see you can see one to the south. Yeah, one behind you guys. And I would say the only person who can there's more. I think the only other person who can see more though is Dr. T. But it's perfectly fine. Dr. T can shout that out as there's that's free. So you can kind of there's some over there.
And we are moving this way, like we're moving north.
You're moving northward. Yeah, we'll say you're moving north. You see one behind you to the south that is kind of gearing up. It's fairly high up. You can see it once more. They're kind of gearing up with that throat thing.
Because it's behind us, then I'm gonna canister shot it with.
What's your range on that?
Let me.
There's some elevation issues here, so the squares aren't perfect, but we'll see.
So my first is prep, right? So
prep, which allows you to move too, so you can move closer if you wanted,
and pull out the thing. And then I think sighted shot gives you some range.
Add your focus to it.
does as your focus to your range increment. So what would your total be?
Okay. So it'd be sighted shot, and then I'm using the canister. So my total range says 2 plus 3. So it'd be 5?
5 meters, right? In total?
Yep.
Okay. What's your movement? What's your mobility? Like how many spaces do you
my
move?
mobility would be 3.
All right. So, what's your movement though? Because it's what is the calculation for that? It's 3
checking.
plus. Isn't there a bonus to it? Am I making that up?
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
It's more.
I could be.
I mean,
I could be making that up.
Sighted shot is just
it's
for the range of the
Sighted
weapon. It just adds the focus.
Right, but I'm taking the move with my other prep.
Okay, so you're gonna have to move down, and then you're gonna fire. It's gonna be outside. So that's gonna be outside of your range, even with that. So you're gonna basically have a small penalty, but you can still do it.
Okay.
So
I'll
you're
burn
just trying
a
to fire
munition
because you don't have a max range on it. Yeah. Okay. So burn a
Actually,
munition.
I'm
to
going to
get an
burn
extra D6.
2 munitions.
Okay. So munitions, we don't really talk about these too much, but munitions, most weapons by default, you can spend a munition. It's a resource that on range weapons, they start with 3 and then you can kind of use them. And then there's like a reload action that lets you gain them back. It's not like we're tracking ammo, but it's more about kind of giving you a bonus die to your roll. And so that's what he's doing to balance out the penalty for range. What's your total?
And FYI, a move is mobility plus 2.
I knew there was a bonus to it, so you can move 5. Okay, so you can get right up. You can get right up to the base if you would like of that wall.
Okay. Does that counteract the negative? Is that close enough? If I'm
so from where you're at, it's going to be from the base. It's about a 8 meter height to where they're at. So where are you at? 6. Was your total?
I was. You said it was move plus 3, right?
Move plus 2.
Or plus 2.
Mobility plus 2.
Plus 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can.
I was here, so I moved 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2.
Right,
so,
but I'm talking about what's your range? Like, what did you end up with as your range by doing sighted shot?
5 is my range. Sorry.
So yeah, you're still outside your increment. So it would still be a penalty. It wouldn't be as big a penalty though. So you did actually make it a little bit easier on yourself.
I rolled a 19.
Yeah, it's plenty. It's still plenty.
Okay. And then I got a strong hit on that.
Okay.
So I'll throw that at just more crit damage, I think.
What is the total? So if you have a strong hit, so you can do a crit. So what is your default crit damage for that weapon?
3.
And that is also enough as you see Zatek starts charging down, chucks one of his one of these shells up the.
Yeah. It's shooting like flame retardant canister shells because I am afraid of fire.
I don't know why my splash isn't working anymore, but apparently it's not. That makes me sad. Okay. It's not working. Why are you not working? Whatever. Okay. So that one's also dead down there. I will go ahead and just reload. Okay. So that was both of your actions, which means we'll then come to kill.
Okay. So we've heard report that there's more to the south beyond the one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll say
call that
this,
out too,
with Dr. T being so high up, I'm going to go ahead and open the map up because now Dr.
So I think
T
I've got to guess where one is.
Yeah, Dr. T will be able to kind of see a lot from where he's at. So let me go ahead and just open this up for you guys. See if that does
Dr. T's just hanging out up there like, you're so small down there.
Swinging guts at them to tag them, basically.
You know what happened last time he flew, though. Okay, so Dr. T, from your vision, you can see that there are many all around, and they are usually at the peaks or high up in various places. You also notice that there's some debris on the other side of this wall. To the left of like where Kill and Maya and such are standing. But yeah, you that is what you'd be able to see. So if you're just listening, we've opened up the map a little bit more. Okay. So it is your turn, Kill.
Okay.
There went the splatter. I saw it.
It worked. I reloaded.
Nice.
It just got a little quirky.
Okay, so if he communicates that, is there anything up above that I could do the grappling hook trick with?
There's plenty of rocks and stuff like that. So yeah, you could potentially shoot up.
Might
and
do
climb.
that for like
Absolutely.
my initial action to kind of get myself up to an elevation where I can.
Yeah, I like that as a prep action. We'll say. So you're firing your grappling hook as a skill. So you're doing prep with the skill, and I think we did range combat. So like small arms or whatever it was last time. We just did a skill check. We didn't do an attack. So it's just a skill. I listened to the last week's episode.
Okay.
And that is how we did it. Whether that's right or not, I don't know. But
Fair enough. Oh, that'll be really good. That'll be 15.
okay, so I'll say for your first
Nice.
action then, because it's going to be prep and effectively like a move on top of it. Ping where you want to go. Do you want to go to the west there?
I kind of want to go pretty close to up of where I am.
Okay. So
Because my hope is to go up there and then launch a grenade between two of them. So I want to have myself to where I'm not going to catch myself my own grenade.
okay.
But like,
In terms of height, the only two that would probably not give you trouble with the Ranger grenade are there's two more on the west. Both of them are on these small little rocky pillars, these striations. The other thing I would say that you notice and Dr. T notices is that in some of the walls, you can see what looks like these little, like especially on the outsides of the ravine, these smaller little like kind of interstitial rock walls here. Not so much, but you can see they almost look like there's these honeycomb structures in a way. And they look like, strangely enough, I would say, Dr. T, you're higher. You're fairly high up here floating, and you're right next to a few. It actually looks like you see some reinforcement, some like construction materials. Like it's not just natural. Like it looks like it's old, it's ruined, etc. But kind of nearby where you're at, it does look like there are these strange like honeycomb apartments up here. Yeah.
Quick minor question. So we see this honeycomb up here, right? Does the coating of this wall, initially I presumed it was like stone, does it
It is
remind
stone,
me
yeah.
of those dead dudes that we saw?
I mean, no, it doesn't. No.
Okay. That's fair.
Okay. So yeah, kill off to the west. On two peaks, there's probably two that would be in range. It's just in terms of like distance, you're looking at maybe like 4 meters in distance, like or in range.
4 is the range on my grenade launcher anyways. And if I did sided shot, I could get up to 8.
Okay, yeah. So I think you could take those two out. The one that's closest to you is on like kind of the highest peak of this little range. I don't think he would be in range of the explosion.
I want to maximize and try and go for those two.
Absolutely.
So that's
Absolutely.
what I will do. I will add my reflex to the shot.
Okay.
For sided shot, right? Okay.
Sided shot.
You
Yeah,
do
it's reflex.
munitions if you do a sided shot?
Munitions is just a thing you can do as long as your weapon has munitions.
Got it.
It's not an action or anything like that. Yeah.
Like the grenade launcher, I actually have to use a munition each time.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
I see.
Mhm.
That's
Some
not
are
bad.
like,
That'll
grenade
be
launchers like that.
11, 13 plus 7, so 20.
20. And does your grenade launcher have this? Does it have splash on it?
Yes.
What's the number on the splash?
Just splash 1.
Okay, so
That's what I was kind of
splash-
asking, like, depending upon where I could.
Yeah, none of them are really close enough, I think, actually.
If
it's
I can't
just
get
splash
one, if one of them looked like it was next to like a bunch of like that glowing moss,
okay.
if I could make it splash it at least into something like that, maybe I'll get lucky and it messes with them.
Okay.
I don't know.
Probably the one on the lower rung might, because that looks to be like they're on more like tentative ground. Maybe that could probably screw them up if it doesn't immediately kill them.
Okay.
Yeah.
It probably will, because
Okay.
I got a 6 and it has a 5 crit damage.
Oh, it is exploded into this massive green and kind of bluish viscera as it just erupts. As you guys have been. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So
Everybody
grappling
killed
hook
one.
up. Yeah. Everybody got a kill. And so I'll say also kill in Dr. T, you see the source at this point now, kill of those lighted colorings as north of you, just off screen. I'll go ahead and scroll down so folks can see this. there is what looks to be some kind of dome, this ever shifting colors from pinks to blues to orange and yellows. And you can see, I'll say, Kill, from where you're at, you're a little closer. There appears to be a man inside, kind of floating in this cross-legged position and it looks like he's within the ruins of something, like some old tech that he's kind of standing within. But that's all you would get for free. Anything else would require rolls. So that's what you would have. And I'm assuming all of you can shout this stuff out to each other, which is fine.
Creepy space monk in a force field that way.
I feel like Kill and Dr. T are just like, man, it's such a cool view up here. We can see such cool things up here.
No, it's
oh
not
man,
cool.
They're just like shouting back and forth to each other.
I'm just gonna yell back, Gina,
cool.
you're gonna love this thing.
You don't know what these things do. I've seen what happens when they bite you. The abscess is terrible.
Okay. All right.
Draining
my turn.
fluids out of yourself for a day.
All right, my turn. Okay.
There's still like 4 of these things up here, right?
There's a lot.
There's a
more
lot.
that you don't see.
This
definitely a Starship
map
Troopers
is
kind of
pretty
moment.
cool, Jeff. Like, this is fucking cool.
I downloaded it myself from Che and Peckett Sci-Fi. Okay. And there's some Planet Hopper scatter that I threw in there too, like the down probe and some debris here and there. Okay. So basically I get to do at the start of their turn, I can do like a 2-step move. So I'm going to have this one at the very top of the peak nearest to our Legion grappler, grappling hook man. I'm going to have him. Yeah, I'm going to have this one kind of hop down from the peak, kind of crawl. And they move with great ease, vertically. And then I'm going to have, I think I can attack with, yeah, okay. I'm going to have 3 of them attack Zatek. So these are henchmen. So the way henchmen work, guys, is that they're basically like a lot of different bodies, but they share some stats and then they don't share others. Like there's like specific rules for how they work. And so like there's a flat attack, but then I can attack with multiple bodies. And with each additional body that makes an attack, I get an extra die to my roll.
Okay.
And so 3 of them are going to be able to attack Zatek within their maximum range. But they will not they're all within maximum range. Okay, so
boy.
All right. So and they are doing range, they're doing that acid spit. So that's a total of
Oh gosh.
It's
gonna look pretty.
I was safe.
And it's gonna hurt.
That's unsanitary.
Like my
of them.
gun.
Right?
It's unsanitary. That's your response to terrifying space spiders.
how
It's
you get
not
pink eye.
sanitary.
okay. All right, so that's gonna put a total of 17 to hit on Zatek.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
it's a little bit over.
Okay.
Have we had
And-
any time? I mean, how long does endurance take to heal?
It depends on the situation. Like you guys haven't really had a time to do like a full rest or anything like that. If that's what you're thinking, like you guys have been sort of
Okay.
moving about and
I
so you
wasn't sure
haven't
if
really
like
had
how
that.
if it was like just a time or you had to deliberately rest.
RT did a bunch of heals last time. And
Yeah,
He
but that
healed
was all-
attributes, but I have
that was for
endurance.
attributes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, my
first
defense
of all,
is 13.
okay. So first of all, you're going to take 2 points of damage, 2 points of endurance damage.
Okay.
Hang on, let me double check. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. You're going to take 5 points of endurance damage.
Oh, okay. I like the
And
first
then
one.
the more henchmen you attack, the more attack dice you get, and the more damage they can do. So that's why I got it wrong. So that's 5 points of endurance damage, and then I did get a 6. I am going to trigger one of its strong hits on the weapon, which is burn. So this is like an acidic burn. And so you are, so that's going to be, basically, you're going to be taking 3 general damage at the start of your turn until an appropriate skill roll of 12 is made. In this case, it's not so much you're putting out a fire. This is more like eating away. So like you're going to be taking the time to carefully kind of sort of remove that acid. And then, in addition to that, let's see, that's its turn, and then this is going to be Dr. T. Dr. T, you see another one of these things crawl out of what looks like a crevice in the side of the wall, a much too small crevice, but somehow it was able to kind of contort itself. Oh, no. As these guys actually have an ability which allows them at the end of every one of their turns, they spawn a new body. So basically, it's like I'm treating it like more and more of these things are starting to swarm and swarm.
Nice.
There's other ways, obviously, that can be reflavored. Okay, so that's the end of my turn. That's all I can do. And we go back up to the top of the round. Maya, it is your turn. Maya, you have obscured vision of another one up in front of you. Up like kind of northwest of you. You would have to move forward to be able to actually hit it probably without it getting fairly good cover. And then there's 2 more to the south of you. One to the southwest, one to the southeast. Both are up the wall and would probably trigger like a ranged penalty because of how high up they are. So what would you like to do, Maya?
I would like to move, and that gets me over here for +2.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
You're moving forward. Okay. Okay. So you run up, and now you are, I would say, right at the base of this. You can kind of shoot up. It'll still get light cover just purely from its height advantage, I'll say, but it's not going to be like heavy the way it would have prior.
Awesome. So
okay,
I am gonna sighted shot this dude.
Okay. Second action, sighted shot. Go ahead and give the roll. No range penalty at all.
But he does have cover.
Yeah, he basically gets his intelligence, and in these types of creatures, they don't actually have an intelligence score. They just have like an attribute score because they're just henchmen. So I do
19, no crit.
19 is good to hit. Okay. What's your damage? Just endurance. 6? Okay.
6, yeah.
That does not actually kill it though. But you do fire at it, and you can see one of its legs and a little splatter of that blood comes out. But it is still standing the first time. You haven't had a one-shot kill. You're slipping, Maya.
Ooh.
You're slipping. Okay. Jita, your turn. You've been in cover. You're still in cover. Doesn't mean you can't leave cover. What would you like to do on your turn? You saw Maya run up a bit.
So would you say that I would have
I forgot to use them.
Oh, that's a shame.
Would you say that I would have a better angle from where I am trying to I'm imagining I'm going to have a better angle coming to the south and west at the one that's sort of like up high than the one that's like right above me. Because the one right above me, I feel like I'd sort of have to like turn around and be looking up at. So I'm guessing going across the canyon is going to be the better angle.
I think the one that came down to fire at Zatek is probably your best shot from where you're currently standing.
Okay.
That's probably the best one because it did come down to a bit too. So it's not as high up there.
I'm thinking sighted shot then should be good because then I'm going to have 7 range, I think.
7 range. That should probably be good for you. I think you're good. As it did come down, it's only you're good. No
all right. So
anytime you're firing up, though, I am giving it sort of that terrain cover.
Sure.
It's not much. Don't worry. You're probably still going to hit.
So I keep rolling a 6 and a 1. Okay. And so that's still 16 to hit.
16 is exactly enough. It's exactly enough.
Okay. So because I rolled a 6 and a 1, that means that I get the crit again. So endurance damage is 6 and crit damage is 4.
Crit damage is all I need to know in this kind of situation, as that will kill another one. As it fires its attack, you see it go the rear back and do it again. And right as it's about to launch a big chunk of acid, one of these swirling rainbow bolts comes out from Jita's armpit and explodes the creature before it's able to.
So
Dr. T.
That was my first action.
Oh, I'm sorry. You get a second action. I apologize. You get a second one.
So I'm going to try to be a badass here, and I'm going to try to do a snapshot.
Okay.
So she's going to try to come across and shoot above her.
Okay.
So she took the easy one. And so then she's going to try to come out from her cover and go up behind her to the one that's up by hard T.
Okay. You can fire at that one. That one will have more cover, but go right ahead. Yes.
Yeah. That's the closest.
I'm going to treat this as heavy cover, which basically it gets 2 times its intelligence.
That
was an awful roll.
Grit it? We're almost at the end. We're going to finish this round of combat and then we'll finish. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to spin a grit. No.
Okay.
I would like to imagine like she's trying to do this like no luck. So she like turns around and steps back to try to shoot upward, and she just like trips over. Like,
how bad? What was the total roll?
13.
13 is actually more than 4 under the target, so you're going to have an unexpected consequence. As you go to fire up, your rainbow does not fire in the exact direction, as this thing is not entrenched, but it's got heavy cover, and you fire and it smashes into this ledge of rock and moss, and you can feel your Farron just go off in like 1,000 different directions. Go ahead and we'll say take 2 points of endurance damage as you just feel like this massive wave of anxiety overwhelm you at whatever it is that you just tried to do going wrong. And yeah, that is the unexpected consequence.
Oh, no.
22. It's nothing.
But emotionally, Jita is quite
sure
not doing well. She's like, see, this is why you stay in your lane. You don't try to do the thing that looks cool, because it's not going to go well and you're going to wind up. Because I imagine at this point, she's just kind of like lying like on her back. Just like,
okay. It's mom trying to keep up with the youngins. This is what happens.
Right.
You pull the hamstring. All right. Dr. T, what would you like to do?
So what my intention is this round, I see that Zatek has been vomited on, and it looks to be painful. So I'm gonna try and do doctory stuff.
Okay.
Would it be possible for me doing a prep action to fly down to Zatek and
what's
try
your
and I don't know, 7?
It's your mobility +2, unless you're
5.
Okay. I'll say because you're going. Okay. I'll say because you're actually flying and not really worrying about climbing, I think you can get down. Yeah. Or at the very least, you can hover over top of him.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine too. And I would just like to see if I can do something to help him out with this acid.
Absolutely, you can. So there's acid smothering over top of him. If we're doing the prep action, that's going to handle your movement. Then you can do a skill roll to try and help clean the acid off. So I would say you could do something like. I'm sorry?
I said that would be a big help.
Yeah, I would say an awareness maybe, or no. Just to know where it is, or maybe like I wanted something with like reflexes, or maybe just medicine. Not quite. You're not really treating.
Yeah,
anything.
I mean,
awareness for mechanics. Let's say, as it's like you're trying to find the nooks and crannies of the armor or something like that.
I'll give you an awareness.
Or physical is just fine too. I totally forget about physical all the time.
I want to look at physical. Yeah, actually, you know what, Jeff? I will give you a physical roll because it's the same penalty.
You're gonna give me a physical
as awareness. I'm going to give you a physical, buddy.
I kind of need one. I haven't been to the doctor in 24 years.
24 long years.
Right.
That's a 7. I will grit re-roll that because we're at the end.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna finish this round, then we'll bail. Oh.
I'll use that grit
You do have
re-roll
a 6?
again.
You have a 6. You could use that to re-roll
Yeah.
the 3. Yeah.
I'll try and re-roll that 3.
Need a 4.
Yeah, just use the
50
effort.
50 chance. 50 chance. Nope.
It's still 3.
Yep.
Can I grit re-roll now that I did that? Can I just keep grit re-rolling?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you
I think
can.
so.
You just keep having to take it. So
Yeah.
You might
So
lose the
this
6.
Yeah.
Just stay still, Zatek. Stay still. I'm trying to clean up.
Darn it.
oh,
I'm doing worse.
Yes, you are.
I tried.
Okay. You still have a second action, so you could keep going again, by the way.
I'll take another prep action.
Prep action, and you basically get two more tries as you bring in the backup tentacles this time.
Yeah. That's
There we
that's
go.
Worth it. 13.
Oh, yes.
Zatek, you feel the heavy hands of surprise medical attention suddenly come over you. It doesn't go great the
Very
first
familiar.
time, but the second time around, he does manage to get some of that acidic paste off of you, and you will not have to take that damage. Okay,
Awesome.
and that's good because it's your turn. What would
Okay.
you like to do?
Yeah, that saved some damage. I have to use my canister again because it's
Okay.
really the only thing I can hit up high with.
Do you have to reload with your canister weapon? I know sometimes you have to reload after each shot with a few of them. I'm not sure if yours is like that.
Where does it say that?
I would have to dig into it. If it doesn't say it, then
It
don't worry
says
about it.
may
for
not
now.
reload, must draw before each use.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it is. So essentially, you're firing
prep action.
a canister each time, or you're throwing a canister, so you have to take the prep action each time. Same difference.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll take a prep. So half of that will be loading it, and the other half I can move.
That's correct. Yeah. So
Right. Okay.
Have to draw.
And then I'll do another
Move.
sighted shot.
Okay. So where do you want to move? Close in on them like a badass hero.
Yeah. There's this one that came out of this hole up here.
Yeah,
Right.
that one's pretty far up. The easier one for your range, if you don't want a range penalty, would
Probably
be
that one.
right to the west in front of you. That would probably be the easiest one for you to hit without a range penalty. Especially if you move a little closer.
Yeah. And then the move is, well, I think move from a prep is just your
It's just your mobility.
though.
Yeah, it depends
Right.
on what you. Yeah, it's just your mobility score for that.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I don't know where we got the plus
Right
2
under
from.
him.
Where's that from?
If
I
you
looked
take just the
in-
move.
Oh, reposition gives you plus 2. That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
I looked in the rules primer.
it's
Yeah.
it's a reposition action, but in the prep move is just like he was saying. Okay, so go ahead and fire your shot. No range penalty. It
Sweet.
is up a little bit, so it'll still get its little light cover, but not
Yeah.
much.
I'll burn my last munition on it.
All right.
I'll roll 4d6 plus 2.
All right. And you guys are just obliterating this field. I have like 100 more of these, so this is gonna be fun. You guys are just gonna
13.
level up.
Right.
13 is not enough to hit, actually. That's not even enough to hit the normal defense.
Dang.
I'm not trying to say that was really bad. But Boris is like,
We do
I don't know
have
if it's
some
adding.
There's attack. Come on. Get your bacterial head out of your bacterial ass and fire better next time.
I don't understand if it's factoring in my to hit right.
it's giving you plus 2. So it's 8, 10, 11, 13. Yeah, it looks good for me. Unless,
Yeah.
Yep.
God.
You did
Okay.
roll very well. I mean, you can grit reroll if you have
Yeah.
any, because like that was a pretty
I
bad
don't
roll.
have any
1,
left.
2,
Can
3.
audience re-roll like one
do
of
an
them
audience
to try
reroll.
to get maybe the one better?
Sure, I can do that. Audience reroll.
Okay.
Thanks, audience.
Fields of power level.
That bumps up to
15?
15.
That is not enough, unfortunately.
Six.
Does the audience reroll count with my? Probably not with my ability.
No. I like your moxie for asking. Okay, so the canister goes up. It bangs off of one of the ledges and kind of trickles down to the ground and explodes. Just misses, unfortunately, as you do in fact miss. All right, so that's only one action though, right? That was no. I'm sorry, that was two because you fired.
It was both.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the move /
Right.
reloading and then the sighted shot. So that was both.
Well, sighted shot, by the way. Did you add in the bonus for sighted shot to your
That's what I was, because I'm putting it on the sheet. It has like a little calculator.
That math
Does
isn't
a hit?
right.
Yeah,
The hit
And
is
I
plus
feel
your
like it's
reflex.
not right. Because it
sighted
should
shot
be,
adds your reflexes. So what's your reflex score?
my reflex is 3.
Okay. And so does your weapon give you +2? What's your
I think
score?
it's +2. Yeah, the weapon hit dice is 3d6 +2.
And then the 3 from the fact that you took sighted shot would now take this to an 18 because you forgot to factor that in, which is a hit.
Yay!
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
I don't
now, you
know
didn't
why
get
the
any
sheet's
6s though.
lying to me.
I don't know if
You know what?
it's not factoring. I don't think it automatically factors in sighted shot.
Last Caravan
For some
RPG.
reason, it does the math right, but I had my distance set to like 100. So it was
That's too
Our
far.
range penalty. All right.
Well,
it was added to max range penalty.
well, much closer than 100 yards. This is Lost Caravan RPG, who has now joined us with a raid. That was a really shitty transition, but nonetheless, thank you for that raid, Lost Caravan.
Appreciated
RPG.
it.
Appreciate it very much.
Okay.
We are killing arachnid type things on an alien planet. But yeah, there we go. I was in fact probably going to raid them, Griff. You're right. All right. Kill, it is your turn.
Okay, snapshot is the one that lets you do a move and then a fire,
Yes,
right?
that is correct.
So I'll try and move as far up as I can on this little peninsula here because I want to try and get myself closer to that weird dome.
Okay.
So I'll move up as far as I can on this thing.
Okay, are you going? So you're going northward towards where
Northward as best I
Okay.
can on this elevated rock.
All right, so we'll just put you basically. You're like kind of on the rock above Maya right now.
Perfect. So
it
that'll
does
be
taper
my
down
movement.
a bit, but you're still pretty high up. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be my initial movement, and then for my snapshot, I'll shoot at the wounded one that's near Maya. Just gotta make sure she doesn't get hit.
Absolutely. You hear the voice in your head, like, protect Maya. Why are you being
Because
like
right
this?
next to you was
Protect
Jita
Maya.
laying down, having failed with a thing right above her, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go over here.
30 spiders closing in on her.
So
Right.
9 plus 7 for 16. Will a 16 hit?
16 is exactly enough. Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
and it'll crit. So
Yeah, this thing's gonna go bye then. As you fire your, is it your grenade that you're firing? or
this is
it
just the regular rifle.
So
I'm going to save grenades
okay. So the
for my next shot.
Okay. So that one, so sighted shot, you move down, you fire, and now second action. What are you doing?
Now, same gun. It's just the underbarrel grenade launcher. This time he'll do a sighted shot up at the dome.
Okay.
I mean, if he can get the guy, great. But he's assuming there's something that's causing that to function. So he's just wanting to damage it as best he can.
Oh, you're firing at the dome?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go
Oh
right ahead.
gosh. Oh no.
Do you
That's
get
how
a
we meet
range
friends.
penalty?
In his head, like it's the thing where it feels like there's the endless swarm.
Mhm.
And there's like the whole like gut instinct of like that maybe is the thing that's causing the swarm. So
Absolutely.
maybe go for
Listen,
that.
If you hadn't done it, I would have done it.
yeah, I know you would have. So I want to piss it off so it attacks me and not you.
She's
Fuck.
never even
I don't know
seen
about
it.
that.
She's just
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna do something cool. No, I'm not. Where's everybody
So
going?
that'll
What's
give me
everybody
plus-
looking at?
Sorry, grenade launcher has a different bonus to hit.
Okay.
Okay. Plus 7 at the end of it. Okay, that is nice. So that will be 15 plus 7. It's not a crit, unfortunately. I really wish it was. Actually, you know what? I'm going to great reroll this. Because I can. Why not?
Okay.
Oh my
Almost
god.
to the
Yes, that's
end.
so much better. So that's a 6, a 6, and a 4.
Okay.
So that'll be 10, 16, 23.
Okay.
So I would go for the crit is 5, and then for a second one you can improve the crit, right?
Second one,
Or I
you
don't
can
know if that
improve the
even
crit you
applies.
do. Yeah, it's not even gonna apply here actually, because as you fire the grenade, you watch as the grenade literally stops mid-flight above this actual dome, and you can see it just kind of hovering there, twisting and turning and twisting and turning and twisting and turning, and then whoosh, explodes right against it. You watch as the color of this dome, whatever this weird kind of psychic something other kind of energy around it, it certainly doesn't look like there's any actual mechanical device around that's triggering it. And as you're standing here looking, you see the man who previously was just kind of chilling and meditating begins to now kind of unfold himself a bit, and you see as he kind of hovers there as his head rocks back, you see the light around begin to shrink and start to swirl as there is a Twyfar in front of you, and you have just awoken him from a meditative state. How he will react to being attacked by a grenade, we'll find out next time we play in a couple of weeks.
Yay!
Okay, fair enough.
I know Maya would have done it if I hadn't.
Oh yeah.
That's true. And that's all. We
Interesting.
should play for another 20 more minutes. Just to see.
I want to be nice to everybody because, like, I know we're already over and people have work tomorrow, and I don't want to screw them up,
Yeah.
so. I don't. I'm on spring break, so screw the rest
Oh,
of you.
I am working.
I am sleeping till noon tomorrow.
Full day
and-
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, so lucky.
Okay. All right. So yeah,
Nice.
you guys are about to fight the last Airbender now. I hope you're okay, because that's what they
I'm
basically.
so,
That's
I'm
basically
so
what-
happy.
Hopefully, it's the M Night Shyamalan one.
Oh, goodness.
You have to spend 3 rounds trying to get a piece of dirt to move.
Oh goodness. All right. So okay, that's it for now. You'll get your refresh and your grits and stuff next time. I still get to go with my people. So I'm gonna put a note for myself. Start with Bugs, and then we go to Airbender. Okay. And we'll see what he does. Okay. As Jita can attest to. Farron do weird things in this area for some reason. So I'll find out what happens.
Huh?
Okay. Let's do some close and plugs and we'll get the hell out of here. Let's Chuck, I believe you have a game up on Kickstarter. Is that correct?
I have Teenage Odyssey. It's my game up on Kickstarter. And it's wrapping on Wednesday. We're thinking we're going to just sneak past the finish line. So everyone who hasn't backed yet, you should do it and make me a happy camper. So yeah.
Absolutely. How's Adam doing? Is he all right?
You know, Adam's
Well,
got a
check
double
on Adam.
whammy.
Yeah.
I talked to him yesterday. He's got a double
Okay.
whammy because not only is he dealing with the Kickstarter, he's also dealing with work being crazy.
That's a bad timing.
So yeah, it's the worst timing for him. So
That's a shame.
yeah.
Wow.
So go back the game and make everyone feel better.
Yeah.
Go back
That's
the
it,
game.
exactly. That's the
And
secret.
if you don't do it, I'm not going to say it means you're a bad person, but I'm going to think it. So there's that. Right. No, just kidding. But you should go back. Go check it out. And there's about 4 weeks ago, we're just right around the start. Chuck ran us through it. So if you want to see what the game is like, check out our YouTube page. You can see our Teenage Odyssey play. Check out Chuck's DOK and Cannon Otter. There's plenty of actual plays if you want to see what the game is like. And then that will clearly convince you to back it if our words didn't.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see. What about DOK? Joe, do you want to speak to that? Or
Yeah, Fridays, we're running the game that I'm making called Anvia. A little high fantasy dealio. I'm dragging Chuck and a whole bunch of other people through it. Playtesting. We're about to wrap our first campaign. I keep saying that, and I think that's why it keeps not ending. But at some point here. But yeah, it's been going good. Come watch.
awesome, man. Very, very cool. And then you guys have what? Like you have something on Wednesday too, don't you play TCC
Wednesday
on Wednesday?
nights. Yeah, we've got Dungeon Crawl Classics. We're doing the classic campaign Night Below. Oh, there was an echo.
Sorry, my my sound just my earbud just kicked off.
Oh, I see it. It says it
Fill
on the
for
overlay. Yeah.
Fill for 10 seconds.
He's fixing. Anyway, yeah, every Wednesday we run Night Below, Defenders of Cobalt, the second edition, D&D adventure. But we're doing it all wrong. Jeremy's there, and how many times has Verbowdy been divorced?
Well, so he got married for an 8th time, but she probably presumes he's dead because we disappeared for a couple years. So
yeah.
8 times divorced.
Yeah, the party got trapped in a hallway for 2 years.
Fantastic. Okay.
Now I'm going to owe child support for orcs.
I can hear you're talking about Jeremy being divorced a bunch. I think that's what happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. All right. And then Maitre, where can we find you on the wonderful internet?
On YouTube, I am Multiplays Games. I make multi-system or system agnostic, whatever you want to call it, content on but the achieving the player experience about tabletops. And if you want to check that out, you should check that out.
Perfect. Fantastic. And then last but certainly not least, Jeremy, tell us about this Patreon.
Sure, Aaron, we on Patreon. There's maps, tokens, comics, fun stuff. Check it out.
Perfect.
Very weird to hear that one more than 2 syllables.
No, it's good. It's good. It was very nice. All right. We are done. Thank you for hanging out. If you're watching this later on Adventures in Lollygagging stuff, we really do appreciate it. For us, next game is tomorrow night. We got Mothership. Well, we got Cloud Empress, which is Mothership in a different setting. Thursday, our new game, Symbaroum, is up. Come watch some Dark Fantasy. I almost killed Jamie's character in first session. It's like kind of a tradition now. And then Friday, we've got some Delta Green. Surprise for that, too, if you want to see what that is. And then Saturday, Call of Cthulhu. Next Monday, we'll be back to our other new game, Alien, as we were going to be alternating Mondays between Alien and Fragged Empire every other week. So crazy sci-fi stuff every week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for everyone hanging out. Thanks for watching this later. We're going to go ahead and raid. Let's just do some Dark Tales. Let's go raid Dark Tales. Follow the raid. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you later in the week. Bye-bye.